Annyeonghaseyo and welcome to Scatterpage Korea. This is Scatterpage. Today we are visiting the Homeplus Hypermarket and associated mall in Yeonsu, Incheon, Korea. And this is one of the last times that I went to a Homeplus before they were permanently closed in July of this year. This video was taken in April. And I just wanted to show you a couple months before they closed what the store looked like. So the first thing to notice is there are almost no customers. It's quite amazing. And I went to Emart on the same day, and you'll see that in the upper right hand corner how many more customers there were in Emart than we're seeing in Homeplus. And right now we're in the prepared food section and there's hardly anything. They're really cutting back already again in April. The store itself is beautiful. It's spotless, beautifully maintained, has high-end fixtures, but they just are not attracting customers, and they're cutting back on things like fresh prepared foods, and they're filling the shelves with things like soft drink cases and chip bags and things like that just to make the store look full. So we're going to walk through the store, and again, you can see the kind of difference between Emart. Again, it was on the same day. We actually went to Emart first. These are both on a weekday in the afternoon, so it's not a super crowded time, but you can see that Emart has a lot more customers. So the situation with Homeplus, if you don't know, is in June, 37 of the 104 Homeplus stores in Korea were temporarily closed for a month. And then in July, all 104 stores were permanently closed. The problem is that the Homeplus company is in extreme financial distress because they're highly leveraged. They have a lot of loan repayments, and they also were taken private a few years ago by an investment company, and they sold off most of the real estate and then leased those stores back. So they have a high rental payments to be made every month. And because of these problems, they've gone into bankruptcy, but the bankruptcy court so far has rejected their attempts to remain in business. And so now the stores have been closed this month in July, and it looks like they're not going to find a buyer. They're not going to get approved for continuing operations, so probably Homeplus will be liquidated. So again, this is one of the last times that I went to a Homeplus. And I wanted to discuss a little bit some of the reasons how this issue of Homeplus closing and the 13,000 employees being out of work, as well as many of their vendors being impacted, as well as other smaller stores and other businesses that rely on Homeplus. So now we're leaving the actual store itself, and this is the Homeplus Mall. So again, the Homeplus store closed in July, and all these stores are also closed because there is no foot traffic. There is no reason for anyone to go in this building when the main tenant is closed. So all of these stores have closed. All their employees have lost their jobs or had to be transferred to other places. This has had a tremendous impact on the retail industry in Korea. And it's interesting to note that in 2010, 4 companies had 50% of the retail market in Korea, the hypermarkets. Emart, Lotte Mart, Costco, and Homeplus had 50% market share. This year, in 2026, that is down to 8%. And now, this year, 50% of the retail market is held by e-commerce companies such as Coupang, and they are really starting to dominate the market. And a couple reasons for that. One is during the pandemic, people ordering online and delivery became very popular. And in recent years, companies like Coupang and Curly have introduced, if you order groceries by midnight, they'll deliver by 7 a.m. the next morning. So that has become very popular among Korean consumers. Also, the Korean government in 2012, in a misguided attempt to help small mom and pop stores and traditional markets in Korea, passed a couple of laws which have also really hurt the hypermarkets, and they have all been in financial distress. Homeplus is just the most serious example of that. In 2012, the laws were introduced that the hypermarkets, again, that's Emart, Lotte Mart, Costco, and Homeplus, have to be closed 2 Sundays a month. Again, that was an attempt to, okay, your hypermarket's closed on Sunday, where are we going to shop? Oh, we'll go to the local market. We'll go to the mom and pop grocery store. Well, what people, of course, are doing is they're going online. So I don't think there's been much benefit for the small mom and pop stores or the traditional markets, but e-commerce companies certainly have benefited from that. The other law that was passed was that the hypermarkets cannot conduct business prior to 10 a.m. So even if Lotte Mart and Emart and Costco and Homeplus have a website and you can order on the website, which they all do, they can't deliver before 10 a.m. So this completely takes them out of that early morning delivery market. So again, the situation in Korea with the retail industry is very dire right now. A lot of people have lost their jobs. A lot of retail real estate is empty and being underutilized. So there's a real shakeup going in the market right now. So we'll have to see in the future how that works out. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you in the next video.